We welcome you all in on KSM Productions for today's broadcast of youth hockey. Today, we have the Skaneateles Lakers and the Schenectady Chargers taking on each other in this 14U Tier 2 matchup. I'm Killian Heffron, joined alongside by my color commentator and camera operator, Brian Heffron. Now, Brian, both these teams, they certainly have a history against each other this season. What do you expect to see here going into this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's really great that these teams have had an opportunity to play against each other. I think this is going to be the fourth match that they've had this year. So it's not like they're getting, sort of they don't know anything about one another. They know their strengths. They know their weaknesses. Should make for a tight match. Really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, these two faced off yesterday. Here in Skaneateles, Schenectady took that one. Final score of 6-2, however, it was a hot start for the Chargers. They popped out to a lead early, and after that point, it was a pretty close game, so we will see what these two teams can do. Now, both teams have already played a game today. Schenectady went out to Three Rivers Athletic Complex and took on the Lysander Lightning. In Lysander, they have a great team in this age division this year. Lysander won that game, final score of 8-2. Meanwhile, Skaneateles went out to Auburn and took on the Auburn IceHawks. And the IceHawks really didn't stand a chance throughout that whole game. A 17-0 slacking by the Lakers as they try to build up momentum going into this game. Both teams, when they have played each other this season, they've had a win by 4 or more goals. So this game really could go either way.
Yeah, and one of the things you're going to want to look for is what's better in your morning game. Is it better to play a team where you blow them out 17-0 or whatever, or is it better to have a game that is sort of a really tough test for you? How does that play into your second game when you're playing a team that's pretty much even? So it'll be interesting to see how both teams react to that.
With that, we are just about ready to kick this one off. Skaneateles wearing their road blue because one of their players forgot his white jersey.
Yeah, you got always bring both jerseys. That's what the coaches say, right? You don't want to be caught in that situation. So I'm glad they were able to sort of make that adjustment. Both teams on the fly.
Chargers wearing their traditionally home white, but for today's purpose, it'll be their road white. Chargers will start shooting from right to left from the perspective of the camera. Skaneateles will shoot from left to right from the perspective.
And I'm looking forward to seeing
camera.
And I'm looking forward to seeing how quick the Chargers are able to bounce out here. Keep in mind that they had to do the travel yesterday before they played that game, right? So now they had what I assume is some local rest. They probably slept at some hotels here locally last night, so they should be ready to go and quote-unquote charged up for this match. So it'll be fun to see how this first period plays out.
And even with that travel, they got off to a really hot start. They won their matchup yesterday against Skaneateles by 4. Could see some chippiness here in this one as we go through. It's just because these two teams are so familiar with each other. Players kicking the boards. We are all set to go. James Thomas and Bryce Countryman on the draw after the officials have a discussion with the Schenectady bench over something.
Yeah, I think they're looking at
maybe the net.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they want to look at that net one more time. Oh, no, it looks like equipment issue. Yeah, it's equipment issue here with the Charger goaltender.
Both benches are real excited for the start of this one. However, we have not gotten a start quite yet.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to take a delay here. They don't like something they see on the Charger goaltender. They want to make sure that he's either got his equipment figured out or needs to add something as he is headed to the locker room here.
Yeah, they're motioning towards the neck area, the official next to the Schenectady bench, which leads me to believe he may be lacking a neck guard. I don't know if those actual neck protectors that you see goalies hang under their mask, I don't know if those are required, but I know neck guards are. So while we wait for this, we'll get an extra brief intermission here, which gives us some chance to show off our GoPros on the sides. Skaneateles all lined up next to their goalie. Owen Dorsey in net for Scan. And I was unable to catch the Schenectady goaltender's number before he had to go change out his equipment. So we will find out who's in goal for them when he comes back. And now, Brian, I think it's time for the joke of the day. You got any jokes for us while we wait?
No, nothing good. That's one thing that I'm not came prepared for. I came prepared for a lot for this game, but not the joke of the day. But why don't we check out, maybe, do we have those rosters up that we can take a look?
Yes, we do. So we'll start here with a look at Skaneateles' roster. Head coach Matt I not present today, so on the bench it'll be Daniel Dorsey Jr., Gregory Snell, James Thomas, and Sean Clancy.
Yeah, and I had the opportunity to talk to their manager Sean Clancy earlier. Looks like Snell is sort of taking over those head coach duties when Matt Ide is out. So, and it looks like our goalie is back in. And number, what is that, 80?
Yeah, it looks like that's number 80 in goal. That's Daniel Beasley Evershall. We get the opening face-off. Countrymen against Thomas. Thomas wins the draw. We're on their way here. And Scan, this pops up along the side. Played for by the Lakers, chipped up on the wall. And they try to get into the zone. It's intercepted by Mahar. Brought in forward by the Lakers in the offensive end from the side. Shooting one there. Patted aside. Checked on the wall. This one comes around. I don't know. Lakers slow to get up there, but he's able to get himself up eventually. He gets chipped up out of the zone. One of the Lakers goes down. And Schenectady will take possession into the offensive end here. They'll regroup looking for some time. Graham Stafford makes the pass over. As this is carried into the offensive zone, it's Timothy Cooper. Cooper is passed in the middle. Picked off by Thomas. Fires it up off the wall. That's intercepted at the point by one of the Chargers. And it'll pop out of the zone for Jack Sullivan. Sullivan brings it into the offensive zone. Tried to cut to his right, was checked by a couple Lakers. Now number 2 for Schenectady. Shot there, save made. Rebound pops out. Another save. And a good early sequence for Schenectady, but Dorsey able to stop both of those attempts. This one will get fired down the ice. Trying to get to this was Sullivan. He was successful. This gets fired up off the wall. Shots on goal 2-1 in favor of Schenectady. Played on the wall. Snell. This gets dumped back in, where it'll be taken along the wall, chipped up, intercepted by the Chargers. Shot comes in, save made by Dorsey. He holds.
Yeah, so some great early tests on both ends of the net. Looks like Dorsey was sort of getting more of those early shots in to test him on that. That first one he had, I thought they were going to blow the whistle, and then all of a sudden you saw a puck sort of dancing around in front of that net loose. So some early shots here going on. Looks like both teams are ready to play.
Yeah, Ryan Battaluccio there for Schenectady just went off the ice for something. Came off the bench and went out to the dressing room. Maybe for an equipment issue or something like that. Anyways, we play on. This gets battled around behind. I'm playing on the wall. Sullivan there for Schenectady. It's taken out by the Lakers, fired up, and here comes Skaneateles trying to bring it forward. Played up the wall. This will be taken by Sanchez, but he loses it, and it comes back to Crow. For Skaneateles, that shot comes in, save made, rebound, and it bounced away before coming back up to the point and getting chipped out of the zone. A foot race now for it. Lotano trying to get to this for Schenectady. He does for a brief second, but it's played off the side of the net. Denton checked. Picked up again down low by the Chargers. Pass to the middle, save there made by Dorsey. And it comes up to the point now. Shot, fired, deflected, save Dorsey. And another shot there is also stopped in the fourth. We finally will get a whistle. A 3-shot sequence for Schenectady.
Yeah, you almost feel like this is the plan for the Chargers, is to let those defenders get the opportunity to take those shots from the outside just above the blue line. If you saw, you had sort of 2 large Charger players that were sort of sitting right in front of that net, making sure they had the opportunity for any sort of tap-in when that puck starts bouncing around. So we'll see if that continues here in this period.
Face-off one. This gets flipped up and out of the zone. Trying to get to this now is the Lakers. They bring it in from the side. Stick checked away. It bounced through one of the Lakers skates, and it comes out the other way and brought forward. This was Tyler Broker on this puck. Broker handed it off to Cooper Mahar. It bounces through the middle, and then gets picked off, goes the other way. And here, that's a big hit there on the wall. Good check there by one of the Chargers. Couldn't catch what number it was.
Yeah, it was probably our first check of the game that we've seen so far. So we'll see how physical both teams are willing to play here in this second game of the day.
That one's played on the wall, hit, and this one will come on out of the zone. Lakers will regroup. Franks fires this one in. It'll dance around down low. Mashevitz on it. This comes up. Brooker passed that one back. It comes up, playing on the wall. Here's Mashevitz back up into the offensive, or into the neutral zone. Comes forward, or a couple of Lakers there tried to go for the check, but they were unable to land it. That shot goes on net where it will be frozen by Dorsey. 7 shots on goal already for the Chargers.
Yeah, it looks like they're really trying to sort of test early on the goaltender, see what they can do with him. Once again, I'm finding sort of these opportunities for the Chargers as they really are trying to get people in front of that net. I think they may have some intel on this to say, hey, if that puck is bouncing around, we got to take advantage of that opportunity to cash in.
Well, that's kind of the effect, though, I'd say, of playing already 3 games this early in the season against a team, and especially one where these two teams are separated by over 100 miles between home rinks.
Yep, absolutely.
Into the offensive end for Schenectady. A long down left shot there. Bounces wide. Opportunity for the Chargers. They score.
What an interesting bounce. Sometimes those pucks, I tell you. A normal shot that just went wide.
Who's leading the line? It is Bryce Countryman. He took the opening faceoff, and he's got the opening goal. That is if the unwritten rule of the goal scorer leads the line is in effect here for Schenectady, which I believe it is. It took a kind of a bank off of Dorsey before finally making its way in, but Schenectady already 9 shots on goal. That's big for them. And it's really similar to how they jumped out yesterday.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see is can they keep that energy up, right? You know, in a situation where they went up 2-0 before, they are going to have to keep on putting more pressure, more shots, get more goals up, because I can tell you this Scan team is not going to just go away lightly like that. They're going to need a lot of goals to make this one close.
Here comes the push from the Lakers shot there. That one, oh man. Urschel might have gotten a piece of that before it bounced out of the zone. Played on the wall. They try to get to it. Hit forward into the offensive end for Schenectady, but the Lakers are there. Franks takes it around the side of his net. It gets fired on up, and it'll be played nearly out of the zone, but the Chargers dump it right back down in. Fired out. That nearly took a deflection, but the Chargers will opt to reset. Fired back in there. But I believe that was Graham Stafford. Bounced up the wall, held in by the Chargers. Mashevitz was the one to dump that one in, and it'll be played down low by Franks. Franks charges up with it, goes on the wall, and he will fire this one. Takes a deflection, gets by a couple of Chargers before being retrieved back by Schenectady. Here come the Chargers in the offensive zone. That one got poked away, and it comes out the other direction. Oh, slide pass thingy there as one of the Lakers went down. Still was able to make a play on the puck. Now comes the other way. Opportunity for the Chargers. And all alone, shooting save, Dorsey.
Right off the upper right. There you go, of a friend of a goaltender. Beautiful shot. Nice lift.
10 shots on goal. No penalties so far in this one. Good fast action from the side. That was Ness who tried to get on that one, but it will be played out of the zone instead. Picked up. Sent back around, and it'll be fired up the wall. Lakers trying to hold the zone, but are unable to there. And here comes Schenectady in the offensive zone. From the side, trying to make a move. Good poke there.
Yeah, good defensive play.
And that bounced to the middle, and the Lakers able to get a stick on it again. Shot comes in, save Dorsey, he holds.
Yeah, Dorsey's really having to work hard and reading these shots from the outside. They really are testing that goaltender by shooting just right above the blue line, but he seems to be tracking that puck pretty well. That goal that he gave up, that was a tough one because that puck just sort of bounced off the wall, happened to be just sort of right behind him. He couldn't see it on the side of the net, but not those shots from outside. So far, he's been able to track those shots pretty well.
Face-off one gets fired on around. Trying to make a play on this is one of the Lakers. Now it comes out. Here come the Lakers moving in. It's an odd-man rush. And they'll just let to shoot that one, saved made by Urschel. It bounced back to the middle for another try. That one was also stopped and then comes up the wall. Fired back in. That was number 77, James Thomas, who had that shot there for Skaneateles. He's checked along the wall. This will be fired up nearly out of the zone. The Lakers keep possession. Walking around from the high slot, trying to find a lane shot there, save Urschel. And it bounces up and nearly out of the zone.
Yeah, you can hear the Scan coaches on the bench in that play yelling, shoot, shoot, shoot. We need more shots on that net.
Franks fires this one around the wall. Picked up by the Lakers. They try to dish it to the middle, but a bad read. It's picked off. That shot there saved Dorsey. Call it his 11th save on the day so far.
Yeah, quick releases by the Chargers. You could tell that they do not like to have that puck sort of dance around on their sticks long. They're taking shots when they got them, and they're releasing it from anywhere on that side of the ice.
I mean, Brian, though, this is for Skaneateles, this can't be a sustainable way of playing, though. Under halfway through this period, 11 shots on goal already for Schenectady, and the Chargers know it. They nearly picked up another one there. As that backhand went wide, it comes up and out. Lakers, they've been getting more offensive possession here in the last couple of minutes, starting to slow that Charger momentum. Brought forward, they try to get a body on this. It'll end up getting dumped in. William Clancy fires this around. Back pass is nearly picked off, but they're able to keep possession of it, and here come the Lakers charging through the neutral zone. On the side, passed over, shooting one, that gets knocked off, and we get a whistle as Urschel there slid into the net, knocking it off its moorings.
Well, one of the things when you have such a sort of offensive play going on with the Chargers, they're pushing that puck down on the net. Scan's just having a difficult time on this half of the ice being to set up anything. The only really offensive movement that they're happening is when they're getting a few sort of spaces within the ice to move it, but so far you can tell they're just not able to kind of set any design plays up and movement of that puck.
Yeah, Skaneateles, they've been able to get a few rushes so far in this game. Gotten a few quality shots, but the advantage in that department still goes to the Chargers. Moving through, opportunity. Good moves there, shot, and that one got blocked on the way in.
Just kind of ran out of space on that one, but some good puck movement, good handling, good hands.
That gets fired all the way down the ice, where it will become an icing for our first icing of this on the day. 7:38 remain in this first period. Schenectady coming off of a 8-2 loss to Lysander. Skaneateles coming off of a 17-0 win against Auburn. That one nearly went in off the face-off. It's played around on the wall, bounces out of the zone. It'll roll down the ice where it will become an icing, so two icings in quick succession.
One of those situations there, I love that, when you get a play off the ice off of a face-off where the shot happens before anybody even can look up. We had players sort of still in their positions lined up for the face-off by the time that shot was already happening. So good idea there by, I believe it was at the center. I'm not sure who made that shot. Beautiful play.
Face-off one. That'll be played around down low by the Chargers. Stopping, taken away by the Lakers. Opportunity now behind the net. They try to get a play off on this one. It makes its way up and out of the zone. Trying to get a hit on this now was one of the Chargers. That's number 2, Timothy Mashevitz, who's brought down. This one comes down out of the zone. Dan Chet's in his own zone. Turns, makes the pass up, nearly intercepted there by one of the Lakers. And still get dumped in, barely able to avoid the offside. Was Skaneateles, this gets fired up. Now at the point, directed back down low. Played by Stafford. Stafford makes the breakout pass up to Badaluco, and this one comes up, but the Lakers are able to take it right back. Schenectady, they've been having issues getting into the offensive zone here in recent minutes, which is something that we haven't seen throughout this game, as they've had plenty of shots on goal. Played somewhere around the wall, now also get flipped up and picked off at the point by the Chargers. They got to get rid of it fast, though. Played on the wall. Trying to dig at it, puck comes out of the zone. However, it's turned over right back to Schenectady. Cooper dumps this one back in. It'll go on net, where it'll be trapped and held by Dorsey. 13th shot on goal of the game for Schenectady.
Yeah, well, one of the things, when you get a first game where it kind of goes really easy for you, you can imagine with 17 goals how many shots they had on net in that first game. It's wondering, all right, how long does it take before we can get that flow going here? And I think that's what sort of Skaneateles is looking to do.
Yeah, definitely a pretty significant momentum shift seeming to happen. The Chargers may have something to say about that. That shot went wide. Or actually, excuse me, it went high. This gets fired up out of the zone. And it'll be blown dead for offside. And so we will see where they set this. I believe they'll go to center ice, as that's where the puck was sent in from.
Just a shout out to the Skaneateles Community Center here. Wonderful facility. We love doing our games out here. It's got everything we need. A nice platform, strong internet. Kudos to the Scan Community Center.
Speaking of Scan, they bring this one right in. That shot is gloved by Urschel. Skaneateles there apparently responding to the shout out to their facility.
That's right.
They rush in and get the shot, however, that's not going to count as a shot on goal as it was grabbed over the net. And this will be Thomas on the draw. For Lakers, it's one, comes back up to Franks. Franks fires, gets hit in the process.
But he had the open lane there. It's just they were not able to sort of get anybody in front of the net to sort of create some diversion there for the goalie. So he was able to track that thing all the way down.
Well, that was Cooper Mahar there on the hit up at the point. And I mean, good job though by Franks. Allows himself to get hit just to, but doesn't panic, gets the shot off.
So we're seeing this transition happen a lot with the Chargers, right? They get their defenders to move up. They already have two people.
Oh, fired and they score! Oh. What a shot from the point. And the Chargers lead this one 2-0.
Well,
it's
look,
Jack Danchatz.
We were talking about how the Chargers kept on getting these opportunities to shoot these pucks from far out. And we were saying how the goaltender was tracking them each time, but how many times are you going to let that happen, you know, before one is just going to be able to slip through? So they got to put some people out on those defenders who have these clean shots in the lane.
Now, Danchatz there, he had a lane that was somewhat clogged, was able to get it through the couple of bodies that were somewhat in the way, and that's perfect placement. Dorsey really can't do anything about that there. He had a few bodies in front of him.
No, not at all. You're right.
And that's a huge goal, though, for Schenectady.
Yeah, big momentum.
Skaneateles, they're starting to change the momentum, but as long as Schenectady can keep that advantage, it'll keep them in a pretty optimal position. The Lakers have to begin to think about how they're going to turn this one around. Played along, trying to dig at this is Sullivan. Still trying to find the puck. Now it comes up. One of the coaches on one of the benches was yelling at his players to get up and do something. Unsure which one it was, but obviously they did something. The puck exits that side. Here comes Scan. A 2-on-1. Pass down low, and that one's just mishandled.
Yeah, good look there by the Lakers as they try to get something going here.
Centering pass is just going to get picked off by Schenectady. They'll make the smart pass and get this one up into neutralize. Carrying into the offensive zone. Tried to push it through the defender's legs. Lakers take over. They bring it back up, and now Skaneateles has an opportunity in the offensive zone. From the top of the circle, a shot comes in and is stopped by Urschel. 6-shot and goal of the game.
Yeah, and almost like we were talking about with the Chargers getting the opportunity to shoot the puck sort of, you know, closer to that blue line, farther distance out. What they're doing on defense is they're not allowing the Lakers to get anywhere near the crease with their shots. They're really forcing them for any shots to happen outside of those face-off lines. So, you know, I think they're pretty happy. If they can allow them to keep on shooting out there, they'll take that all day.
Shot comes into flex, save made, and that one is Urschel's 7th save on the day. This comes up the other direction, and here comes Schenectady into the offensive zone. From the side, they try to get this one through, and the Lakers will take this one right back out. Schenectady unable to really hold any offensive possession right now. It's been a lot of rushes back and forth. However, no goals have come from those rushes for either side, actually. This one bounces out of the zone. Lakers will be forced to reassess. Sent into the offensive zone. Shot there. Gets blocked by Cooper. Goes around down low. Trying to get it on this is the Chargers. Clean game so far. No penalties on either side. It comes to the middle. Shot there. Save made. Rebound. And that one did not go. Urschel able to stop two dangerous chances in quick succession. And we remain at 2-0. Passed up. You know, they try to get this into the zone, but it's brought right back out by Schenectady. Shot there, nothing going. Played down low. Broker gives it along, back to Broker. Steps to the middle, shot there, got blocked. Trying to get it out of the zone is the Lakers, but that one gets held back in, gets thrown in again. Yeah,
good defensive physicality there. Sort of stepping right into the play to knock that puck out there. Great defense by the Lakers.
2:25 left in this first period. That's been pretty rapid A lot of fast-paced action. This shot comes in, save made by Urschel. The rebound bounced out. And that rebound still being contested for. It ends up behind the net where Skaneateles gets another chance, save made by Urschel. That one was just directed on net from the side. Now it's passed up, and the Chargers will be able to get it out of the zone. The pass there, trying to bring it in, able to dodge the check was Colby Mosier. Right on the side, crunched into the boards, and it comes out to the point yet again. Danchatz already has a goal on the day. Drove that one to the middle. Opportunity, backhanded, deflected. That one goes wide. Bit of hand fighting there in front of the net, but they will release each other quick enough. This one goes down the ice, and it will become an icing. So 1:33 left to go. Shots on goal 14-11.
Yeah. Not a lot of stoppage. You talked about no penalties happening already, but even then, you know what I mean? We have very few icings and faceoffs happening as well. This game, really, this period has flown by pretty quickly.
Schenectady leads it 2-0. Faceoff taken and one. Back pass, and this one will be a little turnaround on play. Fired back around the boards by the Lakers, trying to get a lane to clear this puck out of the zone. And now it'll go down the ice where it will be picked up by Stafford. Stafford trips it forward. It's picked off by a Laker, but he was offsides.
Yeah, but you got to applaud. I mean, this is kind of what I think the Lakers coaching staff is trying to get. They're trying to get their guys to go after, be a little bit more aggressive in taking on those challenges. Try to get the puck sort of onto their stick and move it down the ice.
Played along the side, whacking at that was one of the Lakers, but Schenectady takes it forward into the offensive zone. Big rush here. Shot goes just wide. Had an option there, or might have been slightly covered by the goaltender's stick, but that was a good forecheck there by the Chargers. They had someone getting there in front of the net, and in the case that that one would have rebounded. And it comes forward. Here come the Chargers again. Moving on in from the side. Pass to the middle. Nobody was there. And it'll be brought up out of the zone. Here come the Lakers.
And it looks like we're going to get a penalty on that.
Yeah, both officials going to catch that one. And I believe it's going to be against Skaneateles. Shot there. Oh, man, that one is going to hurt. That's a big block.
Yeah, number 40 there threw his body right in front of that. That takes some guts right there.
Yeah, that was Isaac Franks on the block, but here's our penalty. It'll be against the Lakers. It's our first penalty of the day. And let's see what the sentence will be here from the official. And it'll be a high stick, so that's going to be Charles Ness in the box for high sticking. Penalties are 2 minutes and 14U.
So
or not, apparently. They're a minute 30. they were, when I was in 14U, they were 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think they changed that. I don't know. Big opportunity here for the Chargers. One thing you cannot do is go down 3-0 here, especially with 22 seconds left in this period. Big opportunity for the Chargers.
Fired up and out of the zone. The Chargers will take it. They got 10 seconds left. They will start this second period on the power play, but they would like to try to get something here before the period's out. 5 seconds, got to get a quick attempt. Nothing going to go there, and that will do it for the first period of play. And so it is 2-0 Schenectady here as we go to intermission. Now is a good time to have a look at our other roster. We looked at the Skaneateles one earlier. Let's take a look at now the Schenectady one. Plenty of coaches for Schenectady. Daniel Anderson, head coach. Assistant coaches, Matthew Broker, Adam Cooper, Daniel Holt, Matthew Meager, Benjamin Stafford, and James Sullivan.
Yeah, they got a whole line here of coaches. So when we put this thing together, I was like, that has to be a mistake. Is there that many coaches? I'm looking at the bench, and yes, there's that many coaches. So good for the Chargers. Love to see the participation. Keep in mind, all these are volunteers, right? So great participation by Schenectady Chargers. That's great.
With that, we are just about ready to start our second period of play. 1:07 left on the penalty as we kick off the second period of action. Shots on goal here, Skaneateles 12, Schenectady 14.
Yeah, well, good flow to the game. I mean, both teams have had opportunities here. I think the difference lies in the fact that the Chargers really are finding people, so they're being very disciplined. Their people are in the right spot. The players are in the right spot. So when they have a transition piece, they've got one or two players who are always there. The passes are really quick. As soon as a player gets it on their stick, they're shooting it back out, and they're finding an open man. So you can tell that there's a little bit more confidence in where players are at here on this Charger team than what maybe we have seen on the Lakers side so far. But looking forward to seeing how we move forward on this second period.
Ness will take a seat back in the penalty box, currently waiting on one of the officials who went off the ice briefly to grab something.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people leaving the ice on this game. I don't think we've ever had a game where we've had so many people leave the ice at various points and things get held up. So, you know, second game, I think both of these teams have played 4 games this weekend. So these referees, I'm sure, have done plenty of games. So maybe that last game on a Sunday, you know, I mean, we all kind of forget our keys somewhere, and we have to stop and collect things up. So looks like he's coming back out. Should be good to go.
So far has not been that chippy of a game. And been a few physical plays here and there, but not that much in terms of contact on either side. Obviously the one penalty, which is still active against Charles Ness. He was sentenced to 1:30 for high sticking. Second period underway. Chargers looking to build on their lead. Skaneateles looking to close this gap or maybe even tie it here in the second period.
Well, this is going to be an important minute here as one team tries to establish and extend the lead. The other one is trying to get some momentum going by killing off this penalty. Very important minute here happening in the beginning of the second period.
Chargers have had trouble entering the zone so far here. It's wasted some valuable time. And now they'll get it into the offensive zone, but the Lakers immediately try to fire it out. This time it got blocked. Shot comes in, save Dorsey. And now the Lakers will pick it up and chip it out of the zone. 28 seconds remaining on the power play. It gets dumped along down low. Fired up, caught a bad part of the boards, and it will be taken centering pass there. Chargers unable to get the play on it. Backhanded up to the point, but it's intercepted, and here come the Lakers. They'll just fire this one into the offensive zone. And we'll look to dump and chase. That pass there was left for one of the Lakers, but nobody was there. Back to even strength, brought into the offensive zone. This is Bryce Countryman, has one of the goals on the day for Schenectady. 14:42 left, battle on the side, and this will get dumped in to the offensive end. Fired up nearly. Ooh, that's a dangerous one.
We had a lot of people's toes who were on the ice there in that one.
Yeah, not the time to fire that one up at the bench. As a big line change was going on, the officials will give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where definitely not intentional, but still.
And here come the Chargers in the offensive zone.
Pass.
Pass in the middle, save made by Dorsey. Oh man, Dorsey has made some huge stops in this one to keep this a 2-0 game.
Well, that was a great sequence by the Chargers there as they pulled that out of their defensive zone. Once again, you got players who are sort of creating space, and all they're up is their eyes are up looking for the next players coming down the ice. So beautiful transition.
Face off one, comes back up to the point, dumped around down low. And we get a penalty upcoming here to Skaneateles.
Yes. A little bit too much aggressive trying to get that player out in front of the net there.
There'll be interference, and I'm now just noticing my delay penalty graphic is slightly off because of the how the scoreboard is on this broadcast. So that's a little inconvenient, but not the end of the world. We will get a penalty, however, and that is going to be number 45, Holden Schneider, headed to the box for interference, and so Skaneateles will go right back onto the penalty kill.
Yeah, that's tough.
Another huge chance for the Chargers.
Well, at the very least, I mean, even when they're down a man here, they're trying to get that flow going. We were talking about getting that flow going so they can try to get some offensive power, but when you put yourself down one player, it's hard to do that. So we'll see how it turns out.
Sent down low. Let's see what the Chargers can do. That one's bounced in the middle. Shot there. It's a flipper that just was not able to get everything on that one. Now they take another shot. Deflects. It's loose in front. Now it's on goal. Save made. And the Lakers will clear the net. 19 seconds gone by in this period.
Yeah, good pressure by the Chargers there on that power play setup. Couple of shots there on that.
Face-off taken in 1. Lakers will fire it around the wall. And they will send this one down the ice for an icing. A very, very fast icing. That one was ripped down the ice. They're looking to do anything just to get the whistle, I guess. We get our draw down low. 1:04 remaining on the penalty against Schneider. Comes up to the point. Stafford sends it around. Walking in, shooting. That one goes wide. And now it will make its way out of the zone. Stafford in pursuit. He'll get there. Stafford will carry this one up into the offensive zone, sent to the middle, and that's picked off. Chipped up to the point there, or attempted to be chipped up to the point by Tyler Broker. Comes along out. Swiping at that one was one of the Chargers. And they'll try to get this one back into the offensive zone. Stafford. It gets fired back up in. And the Lakers will clear this one out of the zone. Will it make it down the ice? And it will not. And so 19 seconds left in the penalty kill, but time dwindling for Schenectady to do something. They try to bring it in. Back pass taken. Trying to walk through to the side. Shooting, and that one caught the side of the net.
Good, strong shot.
Up to the point. Shot. And that one got blocked on the way in. That's Isaac Frank's second shot he's blocked today. And this one comes on up, and it's going to be taken by the Lakers. Into the offensive zone. Has a lane. Makes a move. And that one was stopped on the goal line. Oh man. Then we get a big hit after that. And now.
Yeah. Well, you had two defensive players really trying to clear that after. They did not want him to get another shot on there. It was a beautiful sort of shot that he took. He sort of slammed on the brakes to try to make a move around the goaltender, and the goaltender just did not fall for it. He was right there to shut it down. But the Chargers a little bit aggressive on trying to get him out of the zone. It was almost like a sandwich. They both hit him from both sides.
Dan Schutz will be the one to go here. It'll be for roughing. I mean, when coaches say by any means necessary to clear him out in front of the net.
Well, I think if it was one player, it would have been one thing. But when you get hit from both sides on that and leave that player defensive, that's going to be an easy call by the referees.
But, I mean, let's talk about that save there.
It was
quite literally maybe an inch in front of the goal line, and Ursul got his glove onto it. That was an insane stop, and this game remains 2-0. Lakers an inch away from making this a one-goal game, but they will get a power play there first. They'll see if they can do with it. That one blocked at the point, and Schenectady tries to bring it forward. They still have it. This will get dumped in, and it'll go on goal.
Yeah, good movement here by the Chargers to really kind of push that puck away. But opportunity, we talked about opportunities being important, especially in a game like this where it's 2-0. You do not want to go down another goal here, right? So got to kind of close that lead that they have. If you can do it with an extra man, then do it, right? So this is going to be an important minute left that we have here for the Lakers.
That one chipped back into the offensive zone by Schenectady, bringing it from the side. Able to stay on sides
lost
there.
his footing on that, but
chipped up, and here comes Schenectady. This one goes into the offensive zone, so the Chargers will get some time to rest, hit along the bench. Here come the Lakers, but they're immediately going to give this one back to Schenectady. 38 seconds. This one's fired up the wall. This one bounces to the middle. Now it's taken back the other way. Here comes Skaneateles trying to get it into the offensive end.
Yeah, their defense is just squeezing them out. They're not letting them get any really action down here.
Played around. It's Crow to the middle.
Oh,
opportunity.
Wow.
Score!
Well, we talked about it. What patience by the young man. He could have shot that a few times, but he held on to it, waiting to get sort of that goalie to line up with him and find an opening. Excellent goal.
That's Ryder Butchain who will get the goal there. It's a power play goal for Skaneateles.
Well, and here we go.
One-goal game.
You can see that sort of the energy starting to pick up, especially after that hit there, the call with the penalty. And kudos to the Lakers for cashing in.
This one now just a one-score game, or a one-goal game. Brought to the offensive zone now by Skaneateles, looking to make this immediately a two-goal game. That one slid across the middle, nothing going there. 10:38 left to go. Battled for on the wall, good check there by Skaneateles. They will try to keep this one in the zone, still battling for it. Long, it's picked up by the Chargers, shooting one. Dorsey makes the save. Shot there from a tough angle, but Dorsey able to pick up that one and snag it down for the whistle.
Yeah, Dorsey just kind of looked up there, and all of a sudden you had a Charger with the puck, and that's the last thing you want to see, no Lakers in sight. He had a clear shot right on the net, but good tracking by that goal.
Up to the point now, shot fired in, save. Dorsey, rebound is covered, and that one will go right back to where that previous faceoff was.
Well, we talked about this in the first period. Once again, the defenders are going to be shooting anytime they get an opportunity on that. They have no fear of being able to take the shots from back there.
Faceoff won by the Chargers again, trying to run the same play. This time they'll have to dump it back in. Fired around the wall. Up to the point, that one just unable to be held in there. It's Dan Chetz, already has a goal on the day. Made a nice move there to lose one Laker, but here comes Skaneateles the other direction. Into the offensive end.
Yeah, good check, good point there. That's the type of defense you want to see. Doesn't have to use physicality. Just use that stick, find the right opening, and pluck it out.
Fired up and into the Skaneateles zone. Trying to get on this one was Clancy, but committed to the wrong side. That was a smart move there by the defender. Now this is picked off by Skaneateles. That one just bounces high. To the middle, pass there. It comes out. Another opportunity for Skaneateles. Turnaround shot wide. Bounces off the back of the net, and it will be played out of the zone. And it'll make its way down the ice where it will become an ISO. 9:15 left to go. In this second period of play, 2-1 our score. Schenectady with the lead.
Yep, sort of what we thought, right? I don't think any of us kind of came into this game thinking we were going to have a blowout in any way, but definitely making some exciting hockey. They're both being physical now.
This gets fired up and brought into the offensive end. Shot in, save made there by the goaltender. Brought up the other direction. Here comes Skaneateles making their way out of the zone. 8:58 left to go here in this period. Driven in, save Urschel. He will hold that one. Shots on goal, 21-14 Schenectady.
Yeah, he thought about saying, maybe I'll let that one out to one of my teammates, but good job by the Lakers sort of attacking the net after that initial shot.
.852 remain in this second period. 2-1 our score. Here comes Schenectady bringing it up into the offensive end, but that one was picked up before they could do so. Chipped up on the wall, might have clipped somebody on the bench, but play will continue. Battle for, and the Lakers will dump this one into the offensive zone. Skaneateles now getting closer to the position that they want to be in. This is chipped up but picked up by the Lakers again. Wrapped around down low. Fired along the wall to the middle. Save there made by Urschel. He couldn't find it for a second. And then he was able to turn that one away. Now another chance to the middle. They score this time.
Well, what a great play by the Lakers. I'm going to tell you that was sort of set up. They were just leaving Lakers in front of that net, and Chargers just had a hard time clearing anybody out. We had two sort of back-to-back plays where that was just left wide open.
And I believe that's going to be number 50, Beckett Gillen, on that goal. And yeah, getting some high fives from his teammates. So Gillen puts that one away. And it is 2-2. 8:09 left to play.
Well, I don't care what kind of goalie you are. You put somebody who's just meters away from that net, it's going to be hard to stop that shot.
Yeah, and that was a bit of a breakdown there by the Schenectady defense, because they were able to walk in pretty much uncontested.
I mean, it was twice. Twice they had that puck in front of the net with somebody, the first one, and I think it might have been, I'm not sure who it was, but he was out there for a good, it almost felt like 5 seconds without anybody moving him, just waiting for the puck to come to him.
And so the 2-goal lead that we went into this period with has now been erased. 7:50 left to go. And we're tied, not even halfway through this period, or just over halfway through this period. Shot there, save made, rebound. And we will get a little bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle, but not enough to get it by Dorsey.
Well, and I hate to sound like a broken record here, but once again, clear shots by the defense. That puck is touching nobody. Open lanes. They're just going to keep on shooting and wait for a rebound to go in.
And here's the faceoff to the left of Dorsey. 7:46 left. Faceoff 1. And he'll be driven around the wall. Comes up out of the zone. And now on a foot race for it. The Lakers trying to get to this one. Brought in from the side. Cut to the middle. Fired that one on the side of Urschel, where it will bounce back up. Lakers continue to try to hit this one in, but it'll make its way down the ice. Won't make it for the icing. Chipped around the wall. And now Skaneateles are able to hold it in. A couple of Lakers challenging for this one. They'll be able to get this one out. It's on the blue line, but they were able to hold it to avoid the offside, but the Lakers nearly able to get a 2-on-1 rush going.
Well, the Lakers, you can tell here, one of the reasons why they got 2 goals in this period is that they're just being far more aggressive this period, although
that one came to the middle, save made. Oh my, the second try was also stopped. Dorsey, 2 huge saves. And that one was deflected on. Couple of attempts there. That's picked off. Here's another chance for Schenectady. The backhand save, Dorsey, rebound came out. Another one, and I believe that one just kind of went wide on the rebound, but Dorsey there had to make another save. Now to the point, another shot, save Dorsey. Played around on the wall, shooting, another save by Dorsey.
Yeah, the Lakers just cannot clear this puck out of the zone.
The shots on goal difference, which was dwindling, is now creeping back up very rapidly between these two, and it's still in the zone. Never mind, as soon as I say that, it comes out of the zone. The announcer's drinks at its finest. This one does not go where they wanted to. Look at dumped in, 6:02 left.
What a sequence by the goaltender, though.
Out to the middle, and this one will be dragged up out of the zone. Brought into the offensive end. Skaneateles trying to get to this one down low. Battling for it. Lakers pick it up, it comes up, and a breakout pass made. It's a 1-on-3. And Skaneateles will win that battle as the Lakers are just forced to dump this one in. Comes up at the point, shot. That one got blocked on the way in there by Cooper.
Yeah, great block by Cooper on that, putting his body between the goaltender and the puck.
Yeah, he kind of got turned around, didn't really know where it was, just kind of bounced off of it, but he was able to get into that lane and clog it to prevent Urschel from having to face a shot. Holt makes the pass up into the offensive end, opportunity for Schenectady. They bring it in. Good defense there.
Yeah, they're going to be a penalty on the Chargers. Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty obvious call there for the officials. They were both Lakers were making a move on that puck, but you get the cross check at the end. That's going to be the thing that seals it. And so that's number 34 to the box, Ryan Badaluccio. I'm not too sure how to pronounce that.
Well, I believe they already have what? They already have 1 power play goal, correct? Lakers do. Wasn't that first goal? Was that a power play goal? I believe it was. So opportunity here again. What a change of direction between the first period and the second period that we're seeing from this Laker team.
Skaneateles poised to go up by 1 here on this power play shot save. Urschel, he was able to get over to that one. And if he hadn't gotten his glove, that might have deflected in just because of how the proximity of the defender and the forward that were battling in front of that net. Face off 1 up to the point. That shot got blocked. Oh, that's a big block there for Schenectady. They try to bring this forward.
Good effort by Anderson. Great job.
Comes up on the side, brought around, sent up the flex over the net, and now it'll be played at chipped. Caught down by the Lakers. This one comes up and nearly out of the zone. Now they'll take it back in. Firing one, and that was the wrong camera angle. It goes wide. Anywho. gets sent out of the zone. Brought forward, picked up by the Lakers. They try to bring this into the offensive zone. They haven't really been able to do that on this power play yet, aside from that first shot on goal. Skaneateles penalty kill doing its job. This is setting up for a really interesting third period here, but let's see if Skaneateles can do it. No, they can't. It's offside. 36 seconds left on the penalty, 4:05 in the period.
We talk about the importance of momentum shifts here, right? And it was one of those things where the Chargers were really, even when they were up 2-0, they were on the verge of making this a 3-goal lead. That most likely would have been sort of shut down at that point for this game, but the Lakers have found some spark. They found some energy. It comes down with a lot of that attacking that they're doing.
That gets fired into the zone. Lakers trying to get on this, maybe trying to get one more attack before the penalty expires. The flips around behind the net. Chargers hold it. They fire it back up to the point. Pass over, opportunity, shooting one, save. Urschel, rebound came out, but it was cleared away.
Yeah, he thought he had that covered.
And that's the end of the power play. And the Chargers are nearly able to strike right off of the end of the penalty, but just unable to get that pass to fully connect. But now they might be able to the middle. That one is sticked down by someone in there. Could have been the goaltender. It could have been one of the 3 defenders that were standing in the way of that. Bounce to the middle. Opportunity shot there, unable to get it off. And here comes Skaneateles into the offensive zone. Takes it around. Driving one, save. Urschel, he holds. And that one just kind of got caught under him. 20th shot on goal of the game for Scan. 2:56 left to go. Schenectady hasn't scored a goal since the first period. Skaneateles with 2 here in the second frame. Faceoff is tied up and will be eventually won by Schenectady. They fire this one up. It's picked off by the Lakers. Shot comes in, and Urschel, no issues with that one. He holds. These two have been a great matchup for each other all year, and it's continuing to look like that. That shot there flew high. That was Jet Tompkins who fired that one. Nearly caught Urschel off guard. Comes up into the offensive end for Schenectady. They make a move. This one will be held back up at the point. Driven in. Oh, they score! Oh,
great
wow.
deflection by number 12 there.
And that did not actually take a deflection. That got right through.
From
the GoPro.
From the GoPro?
From the GoPro, which is what it was on.
Well, he had his skates sort of dancing right in front of the net, at the very least, providing coverage, so goaltender could not see what was going on there. But excellent play by the Chargers. Important goal here in this momentum shift that's been happening in the second period for the Lakers.
I'm not sure who actually ended up with the shot on goal there, but whoever it was, they should, in theory, be credited with that goal. That one, 12 kind of jumped over that puck, allowing it to squeak through. So just not the expected path there for Dorsey, who's played such a great game so far. The Lakers have helped him out certainly here in this period, but Schenectady takes that lead right back. And now they look for more. Shot comes in. St. Dorsey, rebound bounced out to the middle, nothing there. Played along the side. Stepping to this is one of multiple Lakers actually try to get on that one. They take it out. 1:45 left to go. Brown to the offensive zone. Over to the side. They tried to make this one around. It's played by Dan Treads down low for Schenectady. He will just fire this one out of the zone. Takes a deflection. Will it become an icing? Yes. 1:25 left in this second period of play, setting up for a really intriguing third period.
Yeah. I think both teams here, you know what I mean? You don't catch any team sort of finding lightning where they're going to be going 3-4 goals up ahead. This is going to be a tight one, I think, all the way to the end.
1:25 in the second period. Face-off is won by Angelina, but it's going to be taken right back by the Chargers. They bring this in the offensive end. Battled for on the wall. Good hit there. This is chipped around, and it'll be played now by one of the Chargers that comes forward. Opportunity for Skaneateles into the offensive zone. Shooting one, save Urshel, he holds. Oh, wait.
No, they're saying no goal. They're waving it off.
They're not going to say no goal. They're going to say the goalie had possession before.
Yeah. Well, it came down and it bounced around, and I know the parents here on the Lakers side are asking, saying that was a quick whistle, but
so Urshel will get the save, albeit maybe with a little luck. I'm not sure if that one ended up bouncing in or not, but that one goes off of someone on the Skaneateles bench, and they'll stay in the zone.
Keep those gloves off of that side there.
We got a line change here for the Lakers. 55.4 to go. Face-off taken, and it is won by the Lakers. Good face-off one. Had to fight for that one. Comes in, save Urshel. We had to fight through some traffic to see that one. Lakers still hold possession. It comes around, flipped down low. Skaneateles trying to center that to the middle. They had the centering pass, but just were unable to get the shot off. Comes out of the zone. They'll have to reset. 33 seconds left to go. Clancy fires this one in. Good move there by the Lakers. Chipped up on the wall. Picked up 20 seconds left, and it comes out of the zone. Maybe time for one more attack. They chip it back in. This one bounces off of Urshel's stick, and it'll be sent out by Stafford to the wall. Played up, intercepted by Clancy at the point. 5 seconds left, and this one will come up. 3 seconds to go, and that will do it for our second period of play. 3-2 our score, and a tight battle so far. Welcome you back here on KSM Productions for the third period of play. 3-2 Schenectady, our score, as the Chargers look to close this one out.
Well, it was a strong period by the Lakers there to bounce back in that second after what was a tough opening period, down 2 goals. But you got to give credit to the Chargers, who sort of found that sort of in the final minute or 2 or 3 minutes to find a little bit more energy to get that final goal in to give them the lead heading into this third period. But this is going to be a close match, no doubt.
We'll see how this one ends up. This really could go either way. Both of these teams have had their chances, but only a few chances have been able to be capitalized on, and a couple of them some dumb luck and a couple of them some skill. Sometimes that's how it comes down as the Chargers bring this in the offensive zone to the middle. Early opportunity. Dorsey made the save, but it bounces in afterwards.
Bounces in. Initial save. It was a solid save, and it just sort of bounced out.
It's Tyler Broker on that one. Sorry there to cut you off. I just found his name on the roster.
Yeah, no, that's all right. But I was going to say Broker, just nobody could clear Broker out of it. I mean, that puck bounced right off. It was a great initial save on that. They could not clear the Chargers out in front of the net, and they were able to cash in.
That's a huge goal for Schenectady. So now it's back to square one for Skaneateles, who went into the second period down 2, tied the game up, but now they find themselves once again down by 2. Face-off won by the Chargers. They try to bring this one up in the offensive zone. And this is where we could see why we will get these occasional blowout finishes between these two teams, because it does seem like when one of these teams gets hot, whichever one it may be, they will get on a roll.
Well, I think it does tell you, as we watch an opportunity here for the Lakers.
Here come the Lakers. They walk in. It's a breakaway now. Making a move. Great. Save Urschel. He's doing the splits to get to that one.
Yeah, that was a great read. He just was not going to let him get an opportunity to find openings on that.
Urschel does the splits and gets the pad on that one. That just nothing going there for Skaneateles as the move was a good one. Tried to lure him over to the near side before going far, but.
Yeah, nothing gets a goalie going, and then something like that, we're able to sort of on a big important play, you're able to shut that down.
Schenectady early on stops a major chance and scores a goal themselves. And so now this is what will, things like these will be the deciding factors in these close games. Just what can you capitalize on? It's picked up by Schenectady. Chipped over to the middle. I got blocked somewhere in there. Comes back on the wall. They cycle it down low. Sent to the center and nothing going there. Trying to chip this out. It'll be fired back in on that save. Dorsey dropped it, but then he was able to pick it up afterwards. Shots on goal 32-24.
Well, what this does is it gives them, especially having a 2-goal lead now in the third period, it gives them a little bit of breathing room here on the Chargers side, right? Sort of not have to sort of go back to sort of what the original play was, which is finding open people playing their positions, and keeping that puck moving. So we'll see how they respond, but I'm sure there's a sort of a sigh of relief on the Charger side after that second period.
Oh, I was centered. Oh, man,
just over it.
Nearly. I don't know if he got a piece of that or not.
I think he did. That puck went right over his head.
We'll count it as a shot on goal here on the scoreboard. I'm unsure if he ended up getting a piece of that, like I just said, but. And of course that happens, that random pass to the middle happens as soon as I take it off the goal camera. Now this comes up into the offensive zone for Skaneateles. They got 13:50 left here to get this one back in order. And that's a good move there, but this gets poked back up to the point, and it comes out of the zone. Here comes Schenectady. Now, I mean, the name of the game for the Chargers here might start to be just killing time when you're in the offensive zone. Pass, oh, that's picked off. That's a great interception by the Chargers. Save Dorsey. And that's a huge save there for Dorsey, who had to be on his game to make that one.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than kind of having that play happen as a defender trying to get that puck out. It's a turnover, and you're watching him go in thinking, no, not letting that happen.
Well, like you said earlier, it's stuff like that that will really get a goalie hot in terms of able to make stops. Woo! That one goes through to crease and wide.
That had some speed on that shot.
And this one comes down the ice where it will just not make it there. Skaneateles ended up going for the hit. So it's going to end. That decision may have ended up costing them as Schenectady takes the puck. And it's situations like that. Oh, there's a steal. Good opportunity for the Lakers. Moving on in. Poke checked by Urschel.
Just some superb goaltending happening in this period. And
they're going to
get him a penalty.
And let's see who's going to get called for this one. And I think it's going to be against Schenectady.
Well, the Laker took the first hit, and he was sort of slowly making his way back to the blue line when the puck, and he broke his stick in the process. That was just a frustrating sequence for that young man right there. He kind of absorbs a hit, ends up slowly getting up. You could tell he was either a little kind of woozy after the hit, was kind of making his way back to the blue line, and then the puck got turned over right to him, goes back in to try to make a shot. It gets poked away, gets tackled from the back, and breaks the stick.
And I'm now just realizing I didn't stop the clock after that stoppage.
Oh.
So there's 11:24 left.
Pause that around there. Oh. Yeah.
Now this will be chipped up and brought right out of the zone. No, that one is held in. It was on the blue line there for a minute, or what seemed like a minute. Now it's taken.
Yeah, they're going to call that another penalty here going against the Lakers.
And so we'll get a 4-on-4 unless Schenectady has something to say about it. But it looks like they're not going to be able to. That's good physical defense. Oh, it was chipped in the middle of Schenectady. Had someone there. That was prime goal-scoring territory, but a hook is the sentence, and we are going to get a 4-on-4.
It's a tough penalty to take right there, especially when the play was really not. It was already moving out of the zone, he just sort of stuck his stick out just enough to catch it on the opposing player, and they're going to call that.
It's Ryder Bushine who will go to the box. 4-on-4 action here, 105. Or excuse me, 104. A 4-on-4. And this is where these games can be won. In these situations like this, if you're able to spread the ice enough to where your opponent makes a mistake, let's see what these teams are able to do. It's an extended one, over a minute. A 4-on-4 even strength action. Chargers take possession early, however, it's contested by the Lakers. Batted for down low, picked up on the other side by Lakers. Oh, that's picked off. Opportunity for the Chargers. Moving in. Save Dorsey. Rebound was loose, but Dorsey gets to it in the end.
Yeah, a little miscommunication on the Lakers side there. The pass went across, and looked like the defender there was sort of kind of looked around his shoulder saying, wait, is that what we're doing? We're moving the puck this way? I thought we were going up the other way. Chargers right there to pounce on that, so.
Schenectady, plenty of dangerous chances here early on in this period. They've capitalized on one, looking to capitalize on more, and put this one closer to the out of reach territory. Still very well within reach for Skaneateles here. They just got to get this one back in their possession, and they do so here. Long slap shot got blocked on the way in, but it took a bounce out to the middle. Oh, that was a great save by Urschel getting over. And the net might be off a little bit down there. I'm not sure if it ended up getting clipped or not. This will get chipped down the ice. Stafford, 10 seconds left here in the, or excuse me, 14 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Stafford plays it around the wall. And here comes a power play for Schenectady. It'll be, albeit a brief one, 25 seconds long. And, oh, that one just no icing there. Lakers take it up. They're shorthanded briefly. This will get sent down. 10:43 left to go. Play from the side of that one nearly was intercepted. Battled for on the wall, chipped up. And this will be chipped nearly out of the zone. Pass received by Tyler, Mashevitz. And now it comes back up. Here come the Lakers in the offensive end.
Yeah.
From the side, we get a penalty upcoming here to Schenectady. It'll be a slash, not a back pass, nothing there. And a little bit of talking going on between a couple of players after that one. I didn't like the late contact. Penalty here still upcoming. Officials' arm might be getting tired at this point. And now we will get the whistle. Maybe a little whistle happy.
I was getting a little early there, but that's all right. He said enough in that.
And so, right back to the power play. And he
important moment here for the game for the Lakers. If they want a chance to claw back, they got to be able to get some shots here, get some opportunities going.
Yeah, Michelle.
Right there.
And that one, oh, they score! And now a power play goal will make this one 4-3.
Well, we talked about it. Anytime you got a power play situation, you're going to have somebody shoot the puck like that, get close to the net for the rebound.
It's Bushine who knows a thing or two about being in the penalty box this game. And he'll pick up the goal to make this one 4-3. 10 minutes left in the third period, and we're back to a one-goal game. We get some changes from.
Yeah, I mean, Chargers have had.
Last minute.
I was just going to say, Chargers have had some opportunities here to close this thing out by a 3-goal lead, and they're just unable to do it.
Now this is where Skaneateles was dangerous earlier. And when it was a one-score game and or a one-goal game, they were continuously getting those offensive pressures. But let's see if Schenectady has anything to say about it. Cooper receives it down low. 9:30 left in the third period. He'll fire it up, looking for another insurance goal. Played along the side. Stafford trying to get on this one, and it goes down. Here comes Skaneateles in, backhand save, Urschel.
Try to go through the 5-hole on that one, but he just closed everything up at the right time. Oh, there goes sticks flying.
Now we'll get.
And are they going to call it?
Yeah, now we're going to get a whistle, and it's going to be a penalty.
Yep.
It'll be a slash. Or no, it'll be interference, excuse me. Let's see who they're going to. I think it's going to be 5-on-5. I think they're going to take them both.
Yeah.
Or not. No, they're only going to take one.
Yeah. Look, anytime you get a stick flying like that, chances are there is somewhere in there some penalty action happening. So I'm not surprised that they called it on there.
Franks will be the one sentenced to the box. And now Schenectady gets the man advantage, and this is a huge point in the game for them. Looking for an insurance goal. If time dwindling, we get a whistle for something. Now it comes up. Immediately they take the shot. That one lost a lot of steam immediately, and it really doesn't go anywhere. Save made by Dorsey.
30 seconds remaining here.
That penalty was expired. They just never took it off the clock.
I was just going to say, I was like, wait.
Yeah, the scoreboard, the penalty earlier against Schenectady never went off the clock, but doesn't really affect too much. Shot comes in there. Oh, man, Dorsey kind of lost track of that one.
Well, we have a big size difference. We have a big size difference that was happening in front of the net. You had a sort of a smaller Laker defender trying to push out one of their big forwards with all of his might, trying to get him out of that crease.
Tight matchup between these two. 8:36 left to go in the third period. Fired along, that pass got blocked, and it will be sent out of the zone. Good move there by Schenectady. It's Cooper Mahar into the offensive zone. Mahar from the side made another move.
Great
that
steal.
one got poked.
Great
and
steal.
Here comes Skaneateles the other way into the offensive zone, a one-on-one. And that pass got blocked. Good defense by Cooper.
Yeah, they're going to have to move players back here. We got some movement.
And here we go. 2-on-1, the pass there.
It's a little bit too much.
A little too much on it. Oh!
Yeah. And not good. Oh, now he's out.
And so
that retaliation, probably not the smart thing here, but I think he's trying to stick up for his player.
Yeah, so that'll be Colby Mosier is going to go as well for the retaliation, but we'll it'll be interesting to see what the Skaneateles player gets here. I would not be surprised if they might go a little higher than just a minor from the position where it's checking from behind, so that's at minimum a 2 and 10 under USA Hockey rules. However, it will remain a.
Well, they're going to get the charger here for, was it misconduct?
No, the charger's going to just probably get a roughing.
Roughing?
But it'll make it 5-on-5. However, that is going to be the end of the game for Charles Ness.
Yep.
Will be given a 2 and 10 for checking from behind. And well, there's nobody in the box right now for Schenectady, and they still have 5 on. So apparently they didn't. So I guess they didn't take both. That was
interesting.
So odd things going here. It's a 5-on-3 out of all that. I thought they took.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the middle. Oh my! What a save!
Wow! What a save!
Oh wow! And he will get a hug from his teammates there.
I think the chart. He can't believe that. He saved that puck there. There must have been 5 feet of daylight in front of him.
7:50 left, a 2-minute advantage for 13 seconds for Schenectady.
Even the music guy's getting into it. This is getting some exciting moments happening in this game.
That might be the save of the year here on KSM Productions. That was, he snagged that one.
Did we get that on the video behind or what?
We did, yes.
All right,
I'll have to look at that one after this game. That was insane. But
nice
meanwhile, Schenectady trying to set up a play.
Yeah, it didn't.
A backhand pass did not work. Went into the skate of one of the Lakers. So now it's just a 5-on-4. But all this penalty time going to start chipping away at the time the Lakers have left to get back into this game.
Oh, great.
And this one will go out of the zone. So Lakers will be without one of their players for the remainder of this game, as the 2 and 10 will render him ineligible to return, as under 10 minutes were on the clock when the penalty was assessed.
Ooh.
So we'll see how this shakes things up for Schenectady. It'll make its way down the ice. Stafford turns around and fires it up. Brought forward. One of the Lakers defenders goes down. Opportunity brought from the side. There's just too many Lakers there.
Good physicality on the defense there. Using his body just to not give him any sort of angle to get that puck close to the net to take a shot.
Here's Stafford from the side. He's carried it a few times this game. Sends it to the middle. It's loose in front. Save Dorsey. Rebound is held.
Fancy movement there. Backhand passes behind sort of passes. He had everything going on to get that puck in front of the net.
7 seconds left on the penalty. 6:36 left in this third period. And officials currently speaking to the scorekeeper about something. I think it's probably about the 2 and 10 and just how they do it in the game sheet because they're using the tablet here.
The start of the game here.
And anyways, the game continues. Penalty will expire here as this came out of the zone, and that's it. 5-on-5. Skaneateles kills it up, but it kills off
steal.
a big amount of time.
Oh,
will it not matter to the
that.
middle? Oh my! Urschel got a skate on that one.
Good sequence by the Lakers, turning the puck, taking advantage of the turnover, putting it in front of the net.
Up to the point. Shot deflected, and that one goes wide. Now sent to the middle, nothing going there. And the Chargers will take it out of the zone. Walking to the middle, it's Mahar. He'll fire this one in on net. Save made. Pretty routine one from Dorsey. Battle there, a bit of a...
Man, they're looking for a penalty. Definitely the Lakers were not happy with that sort of sequence by the Chargers.
Yeah, definitely got his hands up a little bit there. Officials deem it not enough to be worthy of a call. This comes up out of the zone. Skaneateles there, for clarification, we're looking for a cross check. This gets fired up in, and it will nail somebody on the bench.
Yeah, it went right into the net, or right into the bench.
And so center ice we go. 5:25 left in this third period.
One of the things we were kind of talking about at the beginning was like to see how many, with 4 games going on this weekend, were they going to get tired? Were the legs going to get tired here at the end of this game in the third period? But nothing that we're seeing. Momentum, energy up for these final 5 minutes in a close battle between these two teams.
Brought up into the offensive end. It's picked off. Here comes Skaneateles the other way. They had a pass there, but great work by Schenectady to close that lane before the Laker could recognize it was there. And now here comes Schenectady here on the forecheck. It's been a successful forecheck for them today. Comes up the wall. Chipped out of the zone. Here come the Lakers. 2-on-2. Shot there. Oh, that's a save by Urschel, who had to be ready for that one. Shots on goal, 41 to 30 right now. And in here it says 33, but I've counted 30. Somewhere in that ballpark.
We'll go with your number. You're the broadcaster. You get to make the call on that.
Maybe. Comes up to the point, fired. And that is picked off, and it will go the other direction if they can get it out of the zone. And which, yes, they can, but not very far out of the zone as Lakers take it right back. Thomas there had some difficulty with that one, but several Chargers on this. That's a good read there by Carter Deaton of the Lakers. Brought into the offensive end, 4:22 left. Anderson to the middle. We get a penalty here against
Lakers.
Yep. Skaneateles, and the parents are not happy with that one.
Well, it was a sort of I mean, it definitely was a call that they made, and it was a clear penalty on that. I think the question is that it was so far off the play.
And so that's going to be number 89 for Skaneateles, Ryder Bushine, into the box, and he's going to get an unsportsmanlike for slamming the door.
He's out of there. Yep.
And well, I don't know what they're going to get. Oh, no, it's going to be a bench minder for slamming the door on the Skaneateles bench. I thought that was the penalty box door, but no, the penalty box door, it looks like it's being controlled by one of the team moms.
Was it the?
No, it was the actual Skaneateles bench. Someone on the bench slammed the door.
I think it was the coach. I think it was the same door there, but.
And so now it's a 2-man advantage. I'm just going to put, I don't know what number it is they're going to have serving. It technically doesn't matter. It says 18, but it's on the score sheet, it'll go down as a bench minor. So the number there really doesn't matter. And it's a lengthy 2-man advantage for Schenectady. Last time they had a 2-man advantage, they were robbed, absolutely robbed. Will they be robbed here? Shot off the post! Robbed by the post that time. It comes up the other way. It's a 2-on-1. Moving on in. And that one does not go. Sent to the middle off the side of the net. Here's Cooper. Fires it up, looking for that insurance marker. What can they do?
Well, this is a big hill to climb, but if anybody here, I think the Lakers can give it a shot. They were down by 2 goals before.
Up to the middle, shooting, score! The insurance goal that they needed finally for Schenectady. And this will make it a 5-on-4. And let's see, number 13 leads the pack, Cooper Mahar. He's had his chances today.
Well, what a goal there, because it was such a precision shot.
And no, we're going to get a misconduct against one of the Skaneateles players. And this could get ugly really fast.
Well, the coach is not happy. Players aren't happy. Referee obviously clearly heard something.
And
now he just tossed. The assistant coach is out, sending him off the bench here, and it's unfortunate.
But meanwhile, on the other side, this is a smart move from Schenectady. They just pulled all their players onto the ice for a makeshift timeout.
Yeah.
That's a smart move by the Schenectady bench, while the penalty situation on this side is getting. So it was an assistant coach that was thrown out, not the.
The assistant coach got thrown out, who was controlling. Now he's the same coach, I think, that before had the issue with the slamming of the door. So I think the referee had sort of a short sort of fuse for that situation. But
so what happens next? That's the question. What goes up, and what on the scoreboard here?
What was who scored the last goal there for the Chargers? Did you have that?
Yes, that was Cooper Mahar.
So Cooper Mahar, I just want to point out to you, what a great precision shot there. We could see that net opening on the top right from up here, and he just looked up, saw the same thing, and aimed that shot right into the net. What a beautiful play there. Great shot. Just to want to point that out before we kind of get lost in some of this nonsense here that's going on the side.
We're waiting the update on the scoreboard, and there they go. It looks like it'll remain 5-on-4. So I'll take one of these penalties off the scoreboard there. 5-3 Schenectady in the game that was tight to the very end.
Well,
it still is a tight game, but eventually here Schenectady has been able to get that insurance marker, but Skaneateles not a lack of chances. Shot there, save made, and that bounced and was nearly put in the net by one of the defenders, but he was able to direct it to the corner. This is the point in the game there where things could get really chippy, especially in these 14U divisions. Moving in, that's a great save by Dorsey.
Dorsey just on his toes in some of these shots.
Dorsey, 38 saves on the day. And so now we're at 5-on-5. 2 players remain in the box for Schenectady for Skaneateles offside against Schenectady. And
well, you're not surprised that the emotions get high in this one. These are 2 teams that have all year long sort of had some close battles. I mean, I know the game yesterday got a little bit out of hand with a 6-2, I think it was, win by the Chargers. But when you look at them play, right, I mean, they both getting opportunities. They're both playing hard. So I can tell that, this is just a great sort of mix for a great rivalry that's happening between these 2 teams here.
Jack Sullivan there, evidently not too happy after that offsides, was probably at himself, had his hands over his head for for about 20 seconds there following that offside call.
Yeah, well,
I mean, he was making an effort to get back, so obviously not too pleased that all of his efforts ended up going to waste.
Well, not too far long ago, this game was very close in a 1-goal lead by the Chargers. And things just kind of got out of hand. Emotions kind of fell off. And, now we find ourselves in a situation where they're trying to get a quick score for the Lakers to put themselves back in the running.
.216. I had my clock wrong. Left to go. This comes up forward, or out of the zone. It's held by Sullivan, but eventually he's able to. It's poked by him. Sullivan bounced off of his leg and into the zone. Things have certainly calmed down there since the goal for Schenectady. 1:53 left to go. And the Chargers looking now to just waste time and not give Skaneateles any room, but that's something like this is what's dangerous. Here they come in the offensive end. They got a room in the middle, and that pass there was just a little too bouncy. Might have gotten deflected on the way in. Now centering pass blocked. Good job there by Schenectady to get in the lanes. They've been doing that all day. 1:23 left to go. Goes out of the zone and won't make it down the ice. And here come the Chargers in. A full sail change for Schenectady. Literally everybody except one came off during that rush. Just trying to get fresh legs out here for this final minute of action. Shots 43 to 33. Comes along. This will be played by the Chargers down low. 45 seconds left. Just trying to waste time now, not give Skaneateles any room for a miraculous comeback here with the amount of time left in this game. However, stranger things have happened in the world of youth hockey. 25 seconds now. Chipped up, that's held in, and at the net this time it'll come out of the zone. Lakers pick this off. Here they go. Making a move in. That's a strong poke check there from Cooper. Cooper has been a major bright spot today. We get an offside. 14.2 left. Cooper's been, for Schenectady, Timothy Cooper's been one of their major impact players today. When he's had the puck, he's made some great looks and has gotten in the way of a few shots today to keep this one in Schenectady's favor. Face-off taken in one. About 10 seconds left now. Brought forward into the offensive end. It's Broker. Taken around the side of the net. 3 seconds left, and that will close this one out. Chargers improved to 3-1 in the season series between these two. And their fourth meeting will go to the Chargers. We'll get a look at their celebration. Final shots on goal, Schenectady 43 from my count. Schenectady 43, Skaneateles 33. And in a game that was really tight up until the very end, where the Chargers finally able to get that insurance goal off of a power play.
Yeah, so great effort by both squads here. This is going to be a sort of a series that you're going to want to continue to watch as we move forward throughout this season. I'm not sure if they have any more games on tap between these two, but solid game here for the fourth of what was pretty a long sort of weekend of hockey for both teams. But they put in the effort and energy and great performance.
Well, with that, we will sign off here on KSM Productions. Final score, Schenectady 5, Skaneateles 3. From Skaneateles Community Center, I'm Killian Heffron. On controlling the graphics, live camera shots, and scoreboard, and your play-by-play commentator, my color commentator, and camera operator is Brian Heffron. We will see you all next time here on KSM Productions.